My name is Divya, and let me tell you, every single morning around 8 a.m., I go to war. My opponent? She's a formidable force, all of 22 months old, barely comes up to my knee, and her name is Maya. This is the story of our daily battle of wills.
So, picture this. It always kicks off the same way. The mission, should I choose to accept it, is to get us all out the door for daycare by 8:15. Maya's mission, apparently, is to stop me at all costs. No to the shirt I pick out. A hard no on breakfast. A definite no to putting on her shoes. And each no, it comes with tactics. The full-body noodle, the mad dash in the opposite direction, or, a personal favorite, throwing whatever is in her hand. We were already running late.
And there it was, the soundtrack to my mornings, usually screamed from a horizontal position on the bedroom floor. But this particular morning, to make things even better, my mother was visiting, and she was just standing there watching this whole circus with this look on her face. You know the one. She finally says, "In our time, children didn't dare say no. One look from us was enough. You're being too soft." And, wow, that stung. A lot. So my mom's words they got right in there, tapping into all my biggest fears. Was she right? Was Maya being disrespectful? Was I raising a tiny dictator, and did I need to shut this behavior down, like yesterday? Or was this something else? Something all those parenting books I was reading were trying to tell me about? I honestly had no idea what to think.
And then, late one night, probably while scrolling on my phone in total desperation, I stumbled on this idea that it changed everything for me. I learned that what I was seeing wasn't really malicious defiance. Her no wasn't personal. It was her toddler declaration of independence. It was her brain's clumsy but totally necessary way of saying, "Hey, I'm my own person here."
And this right here? This is the battle that was going on in my head, perfectly laid out. On one side, you've got modern Western psychology, which is basically giving this no phase a standing ovation. Hooray for autonomy. But on the other side, you have the beautiful Indian culture I grew up in, where a child saying no to an elder is, well, it's a huge sign of disrespect. It felt like I was being pulled in two completely different directions.
And here's the science behind it, which is actually super cool. A psychologist named Erik Erikson called this exact stage autonomy versus shame and doubt. And the whole job of a toddler, their main work is to figure out, hey, I can make choices. I have a will of my own. If we let them do that safely, they build confidence. If we shut it down too hard, they're left feeling ashamed and doubtful. All of a sudden, Maya's no wasn't a rebellion. It was a construction project. She was building herself.
So this is the big takeaway, right? The absolute game changer for me. Maya wasn't being disrespectful because her brain literally couldn't even form the concept of disrespect yet. It hadn't installed that software. Her no was never about me. It was about her, and her brain getting busy building the very first circuits of her own unique identity.
Okay, so let's get a little geeky for a second and peek inside the toddler mind, because what's going on in there is fascinating. Seriously, once I understood the why behind her no, I went from being a frustrated opponent in this daily war to more of a curious scientist.
So think of your toddler's prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that's like the CEO, in charge of good decisions and controlling impulses. Well, in a toddler, that CEO is still an intern. The whole system is like a brand new computer with a really buggy operating system. It can boot up a simple program like screaming no, but it crashes all the time, especially when you ask it to do too much at once. It's literally under construction.
So no becomes this all-purpose multi-tool for them. And it makes sense, right? First, it's easy to say. Second, it gets a huge reaction. It works. But most importantly, toddlers feel all these big, complicated things way before they have the words to express them. So no might actually mean, hang on, I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I really, really want to try doing that myself. It's a very blunt tool for a very complex inner world. And look at this. This totally blew my mind. When I say something simple like, "Okay, Maya, time to put your shoes on," I thought I was giving one little command. But look at what I'm actually asking her developing brain to do. Stop what she's doing, listen to me, fight the urge to keep playing, start a whole new action, and manage her frustration about it all. That's 5 different things. It's not defiance, it's a system overload. Of course the default response is no. Okay, so armed with all this new intel about her brain, I was like, right, I'm going to try something new. I decided to run a little 3-day experiment in our house. The goal was to practice something called autonomy within boundaries. The big idea isn't to let my toddler run the asylum, not at all. It's to give her a sense of control with choices that I create, inside limits that I am still 100% in charge of.
So here was my new game plan, these 5 core strategies. This wasn't about giving up, it was about getting smarter. It was about finally working with her developing brain instead of constantly fighting against it.
Strategy number 1, oh my gosh, a total game changer. I stopped asking these big, open-ended questions like, what do you want to wear? Because that's just an open invitation for chaos or an impossible demand. Instead, I started giving her 2 choices. And this is key. Both choices were things I was totally okay with. Do you want the blue shirt or the red shirt? Suddenly, she gets to feel powerful, like she's in charge, and I get a kid who's actually wearing a shirt. It's a win-win.
The when-then framework was also amazing. So simple, but so effective. Instead of saying, no, we can't go to the park until your shoes are on, which just sounds like a denial, I flipped the script. When you put on your shoes, then we can go to the park. See the difference? It's not a no, it's just the order of operations. It shows her exactly how to get what she wants.
Of course, my mom was watching all of this, raising a skeptical eyebrow. She saw me offering Maya choices and said, "You're just letting her be the boss." And for the first time, I had a real, confident answer. I said these exact words to her. This isn't about her being the boss. This is about me giving her age-appropriate power in a way her little brain can actually handle.
So, the big question, did it actually work? Well, day 1 of the experiment was rough. I had to keep catching myself rewiring my own default reactions. But by day 2, I felt it. Something was different. The air in our house felt lighter. The constant headbutting was kind of just fizzling out.
And I mean, just look at this. The difference is night and day. Before, our mornings were a loud, tear-filled battlefield. After, they were a series of little collaborations. Do you want to brush teeth before or after we read a book? Which toy wants to ride in the car with you today? By day 3, our mornings were peaceful. I am not kidding. Pleasant, even. Maya was cooperating because she felt seen and respected.
But you know, the craziest part? The biggest transformation wasn't even in Maya. It was in me. Her no stopped being this trigger that made my blood pressure spike. It became a signal, a little flag from her brain saying, hey, I need some practice being in charge of myself. My job now wasn't to crush the no, but to hear it and ask myself, okay, where can I give her a little bit of healthy control right now? And really, that's what this all comes down to. That tiny, infuriating little word no, it isn't the conversation ender we think it is. It's actually an invitation to go deeper, an invitation to look past the defiant behavior and see the incredible human who is busy being built underneath. So the next time you hear that no, maybe the first question we can ask isn't, how do I make this stop? But what is the real hidden need my child is trying so hard to tell me?